Okay, here we are, the 12th hack of our 2020 12 hacks of Christmas for Infusionsoft. Now, this one is actually not related to Infusionsoft. We're just going to go over some productivity hacks here. So, all of us, myself included, spend a lot of time sitting in front of a computer these days. And I spend maybe too much time thinking about how that time can be more efficient. And so I do a lot of stuff to make sure that I spend less time at a computer, or at least that I can get more stuff done during the amount of time that I spend sitting at my computer. So I like to work fast and efficiently on my computer. There's a whole bunch of things that I do to make all of that faster. So I'm going to share a few of those things with you. I probably can't share all of them with you because some of these things I've been doing for years and I don't even realize and haven't been able to think of them and note them down. So we're going to start off first by a couple of simple things that you can do to make your life faster on your computer. So let's switch over here to the screen. And I'm on a Mac, so obviously any of these things you can do on a PC as well. I just don't know what the settings are, what the hotkeys are going to be or whatever. So on a Mac, the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is go to your mouse settings right here in your system preferences and just speed up the tracking speed. All right, this is going to be really annoying at first if you're the type of person who has been using a computer in the normal speed for a long time. And now I've asked you to, or encourage you to speed it up. You're going to feel like, whoa, this mouse is out of control. It's all over the place. But I promise you, you'll quickly gain control of that. And whether it's with a mouse like this, or whether it's with a trackpad, either way, you want to speed that thing up all the way. One of the benefits too is many of us are using larger screens now. And if you have to make multiple motions to go from one side of your screen to the other side of your screen, like you have to swipe multiple times on your trackpad, or you have to move your mouse and pick it up and then move it again to get from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, then you're just wasting time. You might think, hey, this is not a whole lot of time, and you're right, but the way I see this is we're operating in terms of microseconds here. So any microseconds I can save, I'm going to save them, and so I'm going to speed up my mouse as fast as possible. All right, going back here, I do the same thing with my keyboard, okay? So the key repeat and the delay until repeat, I speed this one up as fast as possible. Delay until repeat, I don't like it all the way at the end, but that's just personal preference. But again, just speed this stuff up, okay? Speed this stuff up is what you want to do. All right, now, getting away from these settings, one thing I'll encourage you to do as well is to get very comfortable with the hotkeys on your computer. And one of those, very simple one, is just switching between applications. So on a Mac, it's Command Tab. And so as you can see, when I hit Command Tab, I've got all my different applications here. And then if I hold down Command and keep hitting Tab, then it'll just cycle through those. So I can switch from my system preferences to my Google Chrome, back to my system preferences, Google Chrome. And then if I just keep hitting Tab, I can switch into any of my other applications very quickly. What you'll find in doing this kind of stuff is that it's a lot faster. Once you learn the hotkeys, it's a lot faster to navigate stuff with your keyboard than it is with your mouse. Your mouse is actually a slow way to get around to things. So if you have to use your mouse to get to something, then you're probably doing it the slower way. So take the time to learn hotkeys. Command Tab, or I think on a PC it's Alt Tab, is one of the simple things you can get involved with just to switch between applications. So you're not having to hunt around in all your different windows. You can just Command Tab or Alt Tab and quickly move from application to application. We'll talk about more hotkeys in a minute. But the next thing that I want to get into is a couple of applications that make my life easier. The first one is Pastebox. So Pastebox is a clipboard manager for Mac. If you're on a PC, I'm sure there are other clipboard managers for PCs, and there's others for Macs as well. But the key here is that a clipboard manager allows you to copy things just like you do, right? Command C or Control C on your PC. You copy something and then you paste it, right? But what if I want to paste something that I copied a few times ago? So I copied something, then I copied something else, then I copied another thing, but I want to go back to a few things that I copied a while ago. Well, a clipboard manager allows you to do that. And clipboard managers typically allow you as well to save snippets of information that you're pasting often. And so for me, that's things like appointment links, calendar links, Zoom link, my personal Zoom link, quotes, and various different things like that. So again, let's jump back over here. I'll show you how this works. Let's just say I'm in my Gmail and I want to send an email real quick to someone, and I want to give them my personal Zoom link to meet me at a certain point in time. So I can hit special hotkeys here, which for me is Command-Shift-V. So instead of Command-V for paste, Command-Shift-V allows me, right here I've got the most recent thing in my clipboard. I've got the next 3 right here. I've got 3 through 12 here. I've got 13 through 20 here. And you can adjust that. So you can go up to, I think, 100 with Pastebox. I like to have a history of about 20. And so I can go and access any of the things that that I have copied in the past, or at least the last 20 things. I can access those right here. But here I have snippets. And so over here in snippets, I can go to my Zoom and get Tyler's personal Zoom link and paste it in there, and there we go. So that makes it easy. So I don't have to go hunt around for my links. If I want to give them an appointment link, hey, book an appointment with me here. Again, I can go down to my snippets, go to appointment links, and get this 30-minute call with Tyler here. And there it is right in the email. So I don't have to go hunt for this stuff. It's just there. But that's a combination of using a tool like Pastebox and then also learning the hotkeys to Pastebox. If you have to use your mouse to access the details in Pastebox, then you're just slowing yourself down. So learn those hotkeys. In this case, it's Command-Shift-V to access my, my clipboard manager. And then I use the arrows, down arrows and right arrows and left arrows, etc., to access the various different items in my clipboard manager. Okay, so that's Pastebox. Again, there are other many other clipboard managers out there, so find one that you like. They usually just cost a few bucks. Some of them might even be free, but it's going to save you a ton of time and hassle to do that. All right, the next thing is additional applications for some things that typically operate in your browser. So coming back here, again, I just showed you Gmail in the browser, and Gmail is typically accessed in the browser, but you can use mail applications for this. I use an application called MailPlane. So we'll look it up here. MailPlane, again, it's an application for Mac to run your Gmail. There's a few things that I like about it. One is it's not just Gmail. I can bring in my Google Calendars and my Google Contacts into MailPlane as well, and access all of those. And what I like is that I can access it through this command tab like I showed you earlier. So instead of in my browser here, I would have to move my mouse all the way over here, click on this tab to go to my Gmail. Instead of doing that, I can just do command tab, boom, and I'm into MailPlane. Now you're not seeing it right now because it's on a different window, but that's how easy, right? Command tab gets me back and forth very quickly and easily between my applications. So for that reason, I like to take things like Gmail that I use often and get them out of my browser and into a separate application. All right, now following along those lines, there are some things that you may not want in a separate application, or maybe you do want a separate application, but there's not a separate application out there. Now, Google Calendar is one like that for me. So let's go to calendar.google.com. You might access that in your browser as well. Again, right here, I don't like to access this in my browser because that's just another tab that I have to navigate to, and that's annoying. I can get there more quickly through Command tab, right, and just accessing my different things here. So what you can do in Chrome, there's these things called Chrome shortcuts. So right here, where this little 3 dots are, if you click that, and then you go down to More Tools, and let's see, that's coming off the screen here. You can't see it, but there's an option there in the drop-down that spits out the side that says Create Shortcut. And so if I click Create Shortcut, then I can name that shortcut, and in this case I'm going to call it Google Calendar 2 because I already have one. And I'm going to select Open as Window. And what's going to happen is that now opens up a new Chrome window. So you can see that is a separate window there. It's a new Chrome window running Google Calendar alone, but it's also now accessible in my command tab right here. It's also now running, it looks like a separate application. It's actually just Chrome, but it shows as Google Calendar. So again, if I want to bounce back and forth between my mail plane or my Gmail, my Google Calendar, my Chrome, I can access all of those things extremely quickly with the hotkey Command tab. And I like having some of my key applications in separate windows, separate applications for that reason, because I can navigate to them more quickly. Okay, so let's move on here. Speaking of hotkeys, let's move back to our hotkey idea. So we've already talked about things like Command V, right, which is paste, and Command C is copy. So I'm going to copy that and then come on a new line. Command V is paste. You're probably also familiar with Command Z. Command Z will, and this all works with Control on a PC as well, right? Control Z is undo, so I can do that. Also in Chrome, if you're familiar with Chrome, you can, and on a Mac, you can hit Command, Option, and your arrows to navigate between the tabs. So like I mentioned, it's a big pain when you have a whole bunch of tabs here, and I've only got 4 in this window right now, but I typically operate with about 20 tabs open maybe. Maybe that's a little excessive, I'm not sure. But you know, to get between those tabs quickly, instead of using my mouse, I can use Command, Option, arrow to the right, goes to my next one to the right, arrow to the left, so I can go left again, right, 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 left, left, left. Now you can also do Command, Option 1, or maybe it's Command 1. Here, let's see this here. Yeah, Command 9. Command 9 takes you to your furthest tab on the right. Command 1 takes you to your furthest tab on the left. And then if you want to count, so I can see that Gmail is in number 2, so I can get Command 2, and it'll take me right to that one. Command 3 takes me to the next one. Command 9 goes all the way to the end. Command 1 back to the beginning, etc. So if you want to learn those hotkeys, those are helpful as well. So every application has a bunch of hotkeys as well, so make sure you take a minute to learn the hotkeys in the applications that you're using, because they'll save you a ton of time. Okay, now one other thing that I want to share with you, actually it's not the only thing, but one other important thing is Google Drive file stream. So I use Google Drive. I use Google Drive for all of our stuff. Oh, by the way, remember I said, you know, when you can make a shortcut? So I made that shortcut for Google Calendar. It's right here. In a Mac, I can drag this icon down into my toolbar at the bottom of my screen and put it in the toolbar so it's always accessible there as well, just for quick access. So anyways, Google Drive file stream is an app from Google to allow your Google Drive to be accessible in your Finder window. So I've got my drive and our shared drive, so I can get into, you know, all of our marketing stuff or any of our product folders or whatever. These are all kind of box out marketing team folders and whatever, or shared drives. I find that to be extremely helpful. One, just for accessibility, I can drag and drop files into and out of those folders as if they were folders on my computer, but it's actually all syncing to Google Drive. But the nice thing as well is I now make a practice of ensuring that nothing that I have ever gets really saved on my computer. The reason being is if it's all in Google Drive, then I can access it from any computer. And so I have a desktop computer that I'm operating on here at the office, and I have a laptop which I keep at home, and I never have to lug one computer around. I used to lug my laptop around with me. Actually, I still kind of do because I feel incomplete without my laptop with me. But I don't have to, because I can really get on any computer with Chrome and Google Drive. I can access anything related to our business, to my life, really. It's all in Google Drive, and it's all synced because of Google Drive file stream. So there are some settings you can change as well to make sure that it's backing up your home folder, which will have all of your documents and your downloads and, you know, anything else that you put in there. Your desktop, so if you save a lot of stuff on your desktop, you can make sure all that stuff is automatically synced to Google Drive as well. And again, that just saves you the time and energy and hassle of, oh no, I'm not at my computer, I can't do the thing that I need to do. No, you can just get on any computer and access all that stuff. You can even sync your applications folder if you'd like. That way, any application that you're running on your computer, you can have on a home computer or whatever, and just save yourself that hassle. Okay, last thing here that I want to go over is something for your Mac laptop. So I'm personally not a huge fan of the new touch bar on the new MacBook Pros. I guess it's not that new. It's been a couple years or so since those have been out. I'm not a fan, and maybe it's because I'm just a wild typer. When I type, my fingers are going all over the place, so I tend to bump that thing all the time, and things are popping up that shouldn't be popping up, and settings are being changed and whatever. But I did find there is, I guess there's a few of these apps out there. There are apps that allow you to modify, customize your touch bar. And that's been really, really helpful for me. At first, I modified it so that there were no buttons, so I didn't actually accidentally touch stuff. Now that I'm more familiar with it, more comfortable with it, I've modified it to do a bunch of things that I want it to do. So let's actually jump over there, and I'll show you what I do there. So let me get this back on. So here we are. Here is my touch bar. You can see now that instead of just the regular stuff on the touch bar, I've got a few different things. One is the Launchpad button there, which I've modified to do to pull in some applications. So I've got Finder, Siri, the I forget what they call that, Mission Control or whatever. I can get right to Mailplane and to Chrome right there. So let's get out of that one. But then I also have, because I often go to our own website, so I have a direct link to boxoutmarketing.com, which I can just tap that little touch bar right there, and there's boxoutmarketing.com website as well. I use Loom a lot. We use Loom a ton with our customers, and so whenever I want to record a Loom video, I just hit that Loom icon right there, and lo and behold, a Loom recording just automatically starts. And so you can create these kind of macros, or whatever you want to call them, with this touch bar tool, and it's really, really helpful. Another thing is I use Google Drive, as you know, and therefore I use all the Google Office suite. And so the next button over is a Google icon, and when I hit that, it basically opens up 3 more buttons for Google stuff. So I want to open a Google Doc, boom, I just hit that one, and there we are, brand new Google Doc. If I hit the next one, of course, a Google Sheet, and then Google Slides. So I can get to those right away. Again, I got this little close button that takes me right back. In the middle is the current calendar items will show up right there. I've got my volume controls over here. And on the far right, we'll jump over there. Well, we'll do this one next. This one is, of course, the screen brightness. I can control right here from the touch bar. And then on the far right, I've hooked up to Spotify. It's a little play button. So if I want to get some music on, I can just hit that, and automatically it just starts playing. And of course, I can control the volume right here, up and down. And I hit that button again, and it just stops. So that's really, really handy for me. Those are some things that I like that just make my life a little bit easier when doing this stuff. So hopefully these have been helpful for you. I know that I really kind of geek out on this stuff, and I really, really enjoy it. Actually, before we wrap up here, let me just bring you back to the screen. I want to show you that toolbar that I use called Better Touch Tool. It's made by this company called Folivora, I think. I don't know. Folivora.ai is the URL there. But you can go and get Better Touch Tool, and you can modify that thing to your heart's content. I haven't even really gone that crazy with it. There's a lot you can do. And I just haven't gotten into it. I tend to get into these things just enough to achieve the purpose that I want. How is it going to save me time? How is it going to better my life? Achieve those things, and then I move on. And I don't need to get into all the extra bells and whistles. So, anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your year. Happy holidays. Hopefully these 12 hacks have been helpful to you. Also, make sure you get into our membership site. Go to members.boxoutmarketing.com, or you can go to boxoutmarketing.com and click the login link. Log in and check out all the hacks that we've done in the past. There's tons of them in there, and they should give you some great ideas and some things that you can do in Infusionsoft that maybe you weren't aware of before. So Anyways, thanks for joining me on these 12 hacks. Have a great rest of your year, and we'll see you in the new year.